Natlan, the nation of Pyro, the nation of war, fighting an endless struggle against the abyss. Some of the toughest warriors known to Teyvat are fighting for their lives, their memories, and their future. The victors shall burn bright, while the losers must turn to ash. Resurrection is possible for those who triumph against the abyss. But what if it wasn't? What if there was no sacred flame? What if we couldn't revive? What if we had only one single life? This is the Genshin Impact Nuzlocke. Now it has been a while, so let's have a quick refresher of the rules. Here is a quick list, but I'll only just talk about the most important ones. Each character only has one life and one life only. No second chances. And also, I have to keep the Traveler in the party at all times, with just a few exceptions. This is the 4th video in the series, so I do highly recommend that you go back and have a look at the other 3 before you watch this one. But without further ado, let's just dive straight into the actual game. Senora is back. We have returned. Still a reunion available. That's crazy. Wait, what? Wow, okay. Thank you. Alright, I kind of want to get Senora to 80 before we start the next quest. And that's what I did, but collecting flowers and fighting hella trolls is kind of boring, so you don't need to see any of that. So, we leveled our Traveler up to level 80, and then did some pulls. But if you remember this rule, we can't pull on a desired banner, we have to alternate between banners, so that the character that we get is completely random. Alright, 4-star. Of course, it's a f***ing weapon. Oh, what did I expect? There's always a weapon, that's just how it is, every single time. Okay, please don't be a weapon. If it's a weapon, I'm just... Thank you! Now, as much as I love Yao Yao, I don't think we're ever going to be using her. She is very broken, but I doubt we're ever going to be using her because of Dendro Traveler. Now, wait a minute. Wouldn't that be good for us since we're running Dendro Traveler? Let me explain. Yao Yao is an awesome healer who also happens to buff Dendro damage if she is at C1. Her Dendro application is solid and her materials are pretty easy to farm. However, this Nuzlocke has one rule that stops us from running Yao Yao, and that is this one. Now this rule was put in place to make sure the Nuzlocke was just that little bit harder. It's accounted to many different teams due to no elemental resonance, and while it improves our survivability by just a little bit, it reduces our offensive ability by quite a lot. There's also a bit more to this which I'll talk about later, but for now, as we're running Dendro Traveler, Yao Yao is off the table. But for now, it was time to say goodbye to Fontaine, and it was time to go to Natlan.
Hopefully we don't get swept up in any major drama this time.
Well, about that, Paimon.
Bon voyage!
Paimon, stop moving around so much, you're gonna make the photo blurry.
One picture to publish, and one to keep for myself.
What about me? Where's my photo? Charlotte, you scammy motherfucker. And so we started Chapter 5, Act 1, where we met Kachina.
Welcome! Paimon thinks it might be time for us to do our thing.
Paimon, you literally just said, hope we don't get into any more trouble, and now you're gonna get into more trouble. Me when I pull Weapon Unlimited banner. And we get a free Kachina. Unfortunately, Kachina's dead. So, slight problem. Now, if you remember correctly, Kachina died in the last video, so we can't actually use her, which will cause a problem in the upcoming fights, but we'll get to that a bit later. Oh my god, I saw the name come up and I totally forgot that my dude was called Defense % Circlet. Why the f did I name you that in the first place?
Kachina is a child of our tribe.
Wait, did this guy have his voice changed?
I'm gonna need you to prove your identity.
But I'm going to need you to prove your identity.
Wow, I really like his new voice. No discredit to the old voice actor, but his new voice is really, really nice. Yeah, it does fit a lot better. Hey, we're not allowed to use Elixir, we got Beto in the team. Put that element away, bro. You got Mona as well, you can't use that one either. Okay, you can use that one's fine. And so we made our way over to the Stadium of the Sacred Flame, and on the way we met Toto. Now this guy is awesome, look at this guy. What a cool dude. I wish I had my own Toto. Whoa, those guys just disappeared. What the fuck just happened there? And so we met Kanich and Morlani.
Paimon's Paimon!
This is Paimon.
Oh, and this is the Traveler. Honestly, you could at least introduce yourself a little, you know.
My bad, Paimon. We then found out that the Archon could
Resurrect people, you mean?
and then went to go sign up to fight in the tournament, but we weren't allowed because we weren't from Natlan. But all good, we're just gonna cheer on Kachina this time. And so we went to go have a feast before the main fight.
You're the best!
This is such an emotional scene until you realize that you can see the quest marker in there, over there. Why is that thing lit up there? Can this thing go, what, you're ruining the moment quest marker. I'm gonna get some meat in my system. Pause. You did not hear that. I never said that. You didn't hear that from me. Do you have any other suggestions or thoughts regarding Genshin Impact that you would like to share with us? And so the tournament finally started. So now it's time for the team phase. And as Kachina's dead, we can only use Mualani here. Another thing to note is that the Traveler is not in this party, and this is the one exception I was talking about. If your team consists of purely trial characters, then it's completely fine to use them. And there is this other rule that says we can't use trial characters, but that only counts for additional trial members. Members that get added to your party, and not a whole team of trial members. Yeah, I'll let this guy die. Oh, he got one of them. It's a 1v1. Oh, it looks rough for Amaru. Oh, an uppercut. Oh, another uppercut.
Nicely done, Kachina.
But the monster wins in the end. Alright, well, thank you, monster, for doing your job. Very much appreciated. You can leave me alone now. We're done fighting here. You want to come with? Why don't we go together? Come with me, Metatro. We're gonna defeat the... Oh. Or not. You're just gonna leave me like that? After all we've been through. Looks like I'm all by myself again. Farewell, Metatro. You will be remembered as a great partner. Anyways, it looks like these guys are fighting. I'll let them fight it out as well. We have one person from the people of the springs fighting one of the Meanwhile, we have one from the collective of plenty versus the children of the echoes. The red one hits them with the sword multiple times. The people of the springs has fainted. That person has gone down. And the Flower Feather clan has joined the fight. The one from the collective of plenty is running away. Oh no, he's going back into battle. He's just regenerated his entire health. The children of the echoes and the Flower Feather clan have teamed up against the collective of plenty in hopes to take this monster down. The collective of plenty warrior has wiped out everyone else. Hey there, good job, bro. Very good job. I applaud you. Alright, later, bro. Now, this part of the team fight is designed for Kachina, but honestly, you can just climb it up like a normal person, and it still works. So we don't have to use her here.
Attention contestants, Mualani and Kachina.
What the fuck?
Heading out of bounds.
I can't move.
Return to the competition grounds.
It's not letting me move. I'm not touching the keyboard, by the way.
Kachina, you're currently
What the
heading out of bounds.
Mualani, you're tweaking.
Mualani and Kachina.
What the fuck, Mualani? But after defeating these last guys, we rode a Spiritway and made our way back to the stadium. Nah, it's Senora. Hey Senora, you're not cheering for me? You guys are the worst cheerleaders ever. Look at everyone else, they're clapping. What are you doing? What are you looking at? Bruh. Okay, well, you see, we're now forced to use Kachina. But Kachina's dead, so what's the solution to this? As you can see, this is not my Kachina. Why the f do you have no bliss? She must have been booted in from a different timeline or something. But in all fairness, the only result out of this is to give away some Welkins. So I will do that. But you're gonna have to wait to the end of the video. Our first fight was against Nkunga, and to be honest, this fight was not too bad. Our Phlogiston bar was maxed out, so we could just use Kachina's elemental skill until he was about a third health. After that, we just whittled him down with normal attacks, and that was it. That was the fight over. Now our next fight was against Li Liuo, and this one was a bit harder. She disappears a few times, and she does a bit more damage, and has also a bit more health. So it takes a few more rotations to knock her down a bit more. Not only that, but she afflicts Cryo, which means that we attack a lot slower and also move a lot slower. Plus she does this weird thing where we have to ride up her pillars, but that's just a little gimmick, doesn't really do that much. But after climbing this last pillar, we successfully knock her down and move to the finals, which Kachina won, by the way, so we successfully sent a kid to war, while we decided to contribute in our own way, and that was to have a hot springs party. Feed for free? Distinguished viewers, permit me to address this matter with the utmost formality and candor. While I hold the functional significance of feet in the highest regard, acknowledging their indispensable role in human mobility, stability, and overall well-being, I must unequivocally express my personal aversion. Feet, though vital in purpose, lack any aesthetic or sensory appeal to my sensibilities. Their form and presence elicit no admiration, and my disposition towards them remains resolutely unfavorable. While I appreciate the marvel of their function, I find myself unable to extend that appreciation beyond the purely practical realm. Thank you. But then the Abyss attacked, and because of our rule, we're not allowed to use, what do you call them? Trial members. So...
The tide rises!
Hey, I'm trying to talk here, okay? So unfortunately, we can't use Mualani. but because we're at the People of the Springs, there is a lot of water everywhere. So it's very easy to get these guys afflicted with Hydro. What that means is that we can proc so many elemental reactions and therefore do a lot of damage a lot quicker. Charlotte was such an MVP here because by proccing Frozen, it just delayed their attacks a lot more. And we just got a lot of free hits in. And because we go out of combat, we're allowed to actually eat food here. But next up, we had to destroy this Abyssal Pylon. And although there are Abyssal monsters here, we don't have to worry about them. Now, breaking this pylon is easy. All we have to do is make the grass burn. And because the grass is burning, it does pyro damage to the Abyssal Pylon, which means that the shield breaks really fast. Unfortunately, it doesn't get affected by elemental reactions, so the burning reaction doesn't work, but since there's grass under it, we can break the shield easily. But after we broke the pylon, we purified Auntie Atea, and that was Act 1 complete. So it was time for Act 2, and everyone but Kachina has come back alive. But that's alright, let's just sing the Ode of Resurrection, and she should just come back like nothing ever happened.
I could not find Kachina within the Night Kingdom.
Oh, she did that. My drip is better than yours. Nah, check out these glasses. But look at my coat. Well then let me take off my coat. Your drip sucks ass. Okay then, Zipper. Okay, but my hair glows. Take that. What the fuck? You burned my clothes. You owe me for the dry cleaning. Anyways, we met Vichama, who used the Spirit Speaker Stone to find Kachina's ancient name, but then there were some monsters that got summoned. So we quickly took care of them, they weren't too big of a deal, but some more got summoned, and there was a Pyro Abyss Mage this time. But this one was really easy to beat, as we had Mona, Beto, and Charlotte, which basically got rid of the shield super fast. We found Kachina's ancient name, but Vichama kept on going and tried to find Malko's ancient name, but he couldn't, so we had to use our Saki powers to get the suck out of that suck. I don't know what I said, but I'm keeping that in. We then had to talk with Kachina and formed a rescue party to go save her. Now the first wave of monsters here are just abyssal monsters, and because this Archon quest came out before 5.1, these monsters don't have a delayed attack and are basically like their regular counterparts. This next fight is also very easy, it's just 3 Hilitrolls and then an Abyss Mage and some more abyssal monsters. The next fight was also pretty easy with just a single Sabotroll and 2 Mitatrolls, and then a Rock Lava Troll and 2 Hilitroll Archers, so not too hard. We then finally made it to the Night Kingdom and these things started hitting us, but then Malko came in clutch and formed a nice shield around us. So thank you, Malko. There were a few more abyssal monsters, but we took quick care of them, and then we found Kachina. Finally! Now if there was a group of monsters that I had to remove from the game, it would 100% be Rift Hounds. These guys are annoying, and the more of them, the more annoying they get. And it really sucks for our team because the only character that we have that heals is Charlotte, while they do party-wide damage over time. And because we haven't progressed that far, Charlotte's energy recharge isn't all the best right now. But luckily, we managed to hold out to the end with more than half health remaining. We then had to go fight a Pyro Abyss Lictor with only Mualani and Kachina on the team. So unfortunately, we could only use Mualani here because, well, Kachina was still dead. But even without Kachina, it was really easy to get him down to his shield health. After that, we just autoed him to break the shield, and that was it. That was the entire fight done. But now it was time to get out of here.
We'll use the power of friendship.
Oh, well, we're dead. GG. Nuzlocke over. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button and subscribe. Oh, never mind. Blah blah blah. Natlan's gonna be destroyed in about a year. Yeah, whatever. Typical day in the life of Signora. Oh yeah. Get in, Pacao. Signora, what the fuck are you staring at? And that was Act 2 complete. Wow, we kind of speedran that one, didn't we? So now it was time for Act 3. We met up with Jillian, who was making our ancient name, but she was going to take a while, so she told us to
Take a stroll in the meantime.
stroll, you say. This is a very nice place to be. As you can see, the pointy thing behind me. Okay, that does look a bit dangerous, not gonna lie. Stairs. Why are there so many stairs? Wait until the morning of the day after. Well, we're on a tight schedule here. That this is gonna f us up. We're waiting 2 whole days. So we then went to go meet Sitlali, who Paimon caught her. Old hag.
She can ignore
Uh-oh,
it.
Paimon, shut the f up real quick.
Oh, really? So, that's how you see me?
We then went to go track down Auroron, because apparently he was the one we were looking for. But we were able to hear Sitlali's thoughts, and to put it simply, this is such a f***ing awkward quest. Hello, traveler. I am Auroron. I have someone here who wants to meet you. You must help me fix my clothes. We then went to go save Auroron from the Clothes Wrangler, and there were quite a few Fatui here. Just agents, gunners, and skirmishers. Nothing too exciting. However, at some point, a lot of our characters got very, very low, so we played a bit of a range game with Mona until we got our cooldowns for Charlotte back up. And I did make a little mistake here. If I was not careful enough, I would have got my Traveler knocked out here. But we managed to heal him in the end, so that was fine. But after defeating the last Pyro agent, second wave! With a bit of luck and a bit of skill, we played around our cooldowns so that no one really got knocked out, and for Charlotte to get enough energy back so she could burst again. But the second half of this fight was pretty easy compared to the first half, so we didn't worry too much. And after that, it was basically over.
Gramps?
Might as well be Gramps after that fight. Anyways, we brought Auroran back to the stadium, and then... Don't tell me I have to wait a day. Are we not short on time? And once you learn the truth about Malwika's plan, you will side with me. What if I told you she uses vapor eyes to dry her clothes? Shoot, secret's out.
Huh? The captain disappeared!
It's one lone hitty chill. I didn't know he was just chill like that. Oh, he actually is just chill. Wait, what if I light the fire for him? Oh, I didn't know that happened. I haven't even done this in my original world. After Sitlali got drunk, we took a rest and we figured out that some of the tribes were being attacked by monsters. And for the rest of the Natlan Archon quests, I did something that I would normally never do, and that was to change to Geo Traveler. Now, I really dislike Geo Traveler, but it's very good here for 3 different reasons. Firstly, it's not the worst offensive option. For our current team, Hydro and Electro Traveler are significantly worse. Dendro is probably the best, followed by Geo and then Anemo. Secondly, Geo Traveler provides a better defense option as it allows us to use the Crystallize reaction, which gives us elemental shields. Although there's a lot of abyssal monsters such as Rift Hounds that disregard shields, it's still effective against other types of monsters such as Hilichurls and Abyss Mages. And now for a really niche reason, Geo Traveler's constructs are really good against enemies like Rift Hounds. They're able to block their lunges and regular attacks cannot reach on top of their rock. And since there's a lot of Rift Hounds on the upcoming Archon quests, Geo Traveler is extremely useful. So we went to go assist the Children of the Echoes, and for the upcoming fight we had to destroy an Abyssal Pylon. But the cool thing about this is that we get a free Tepetli Saw here. And the cool thing about Saurians is that Rift Hounds don't actually do any bleed damage to you or your party while you're in a Saurian. So as you can see here, our Saurian does not have the bleed effect even though we're taking damage from these Rift Hounds. And our party is at full HP. So we can safely destroy the Abyssal Pylon by using the Tepetli Saw's attack underground. After that, we heard about Chaska's and Koichi's little excursion into the Fatui camp, and then we had a peek into Auroran's memories. You have heard about a washing machine before, right? And that was Act 3 complete. Alright, and now here is a big problem. This act has some of the most fighting that you'll ever see in the entirety of the game. And the problem with that is, my characters are very underleveled right now. So the question is, do I try to complete it with this team as that I have now, or do I level up my team a bit more? I decided on keeping my team as is, with the exception of leveling up Charlotte's weapon because it was only level 50 and that was really low. This domain was really easy because they're Hydro Slimes, so my team works really well against them. The Fatui agents are also not too bad, they just take a bit longer to kill. So after leveling our Sakrags up to level 60, we pulled a Fav Codex. Of course. So yeah, we decided to level that one up to 60 instead. But now we were finally ready for Act 4. We start off by trying to stop Capitano and Auroran from activating the source mechanism, but then we were met by some Fatui. And most of the Fatui are fine, but the one that really doesn't work for our team is the Cryo Gunner. We don't have anything in our team to break their shield, and this guy does continuous damage, which is really annoying because it's Cryo. It slows us and it makes us attack a lot slower. In fact, we're so useless against it, they aren't even affected by Frozen, which means that we can't even proc Shatter, which is one of our main damage sources. Oh yeah, also I tried Anemo Traveler here just to see how he felt, but his damage felt really low, so I changed him back to Geo after the Capitano domain. Now inside the domain we're met with some Geo Slimes, but you can just skip these, and then we're up against another Cryo Gunner. All I'm gonna say is that this fight was so unnecessarily long. And this fight was even longer for some reason. These new Natlan robots are just really tanky for some reason. But then we finally caught up with the captain. Your drip is flawed. Oh, but here's the thing, Commander. I am a playable character. Alright, you got me on that one. You are the inheritor of my name. Does my fit really suck? Yes, Lamau. What the fuck are you wearing? Don't talk to me again. Goodbye. Fine. I guess we can be friends. Your drip isn't all too bad. I know we may never completely see eye to eye. Of course, I don't have a face. Anyways, after a bit more talking, we went to go take a rest. But when we woke up, it was time for the largest fight Signora had ever seen before. And so we rode the hot air balloon to the first hotspot. they're not exactly fighting Paimon, they're just looking at each other. The first battle just had a bunch of Hilichurls, so we took out the small ones first and then fought the Minotaur, who was already weakened by a bunch of NPCs. 106 deaths! Oh shit! Now this next battle you can choose where to go, and the important thing to know about this one is whatever you choose here affects a later fight in the Archon quest. So in my opinion, the easier one is Under Siege. The next battle was against more Hilichurls, so we did the same thing. We took out the Saboteur first, and then the Hilichurls, and then the big Minotaur. Now after the fight you can choose to reinforce the hotspot, but for all of these we decided to just move to the next one because a lot more people needed our help. Honestly, that's just another way to say I'm avoiding as many fights as possible. So the next one here is also one you can choose, and the easier one for sure is Echoes Through the Valley, because Key Supply Rescue has Rift Hounds. Although we have a lot of precautionary measures against Rift Hounds, I do want to avoid fighting them as much as possible. One, our only healer is Charlotte, and her healing is on her burst, which means that it's not always going to be up. So it's a lot more dangerous to fight an enemy with HP drain. Another thing to note here is that this fight does not affect any future battles, and Echoes Through the Valley is also revisited later in the Archon quest. So I chose to do this one because it's a bit easier and we have a lot of NPCs that will help us now and also later in the Archon quest. This fight is very simple. All we have to do is target the Abyssal Pylon. And this fight is even easier because since there's a lot of NPCs, these Hilichurls and the Abyss Mage are targeted on a bunch of other NPCs. So we can just target this pylon with ease. It's not that hard. It's basically a free battle, and then we just destroy the other enemies later in battle anyways. The next battle is just a simple Hilichurl battle. There's a bunch of NPCs here as well, so it's not like we're alone. So it's not too hard of a fight, and we easily clear it compared to the other ones. But there is a second part of the fight, but luckily we get a free Saurian here. Now we do get a Trial Kinich, but we're not actually using him, so that's completely fine. There are these fire fruits here that the Yumkasaur can pick up, and that's really good because it helps burn the grass underneath the pylons. It's basically a free pylon destroyer, and it also does a lot of damage to the pylon, as you can see here. But there are another 2 pylons that spawn. Luckily for us, the enemies here aren't too big of a deal. We can easily just destroy the pylons with the Yumkasaur again, so it's not too much of a fight. But now this is where shit gets real. The Soithoth has appeared. I'm so happy that Ahau does not have a voice. Look at that fucker, he's laughing. Alright, where are we going next? Now, these fights here don't really matter. We're going to have to do both of them anyways, so I chose to do the North one first. Now, unfortunately for us, the North fight has Rift Hounds, and the sad thing about Rift Hounds is that the more of them that there are, the harder it is to avoid the HP bleed. And what I didn't realize is that after defeating the small one here, it actually spawns in a second wave of Rift Hounds. So we have a new set of Rift Hounds here, but we still have this big one from the first wave. Now, as I said before, Charlotte's energy recharge is not the best. Of course, you can get a few ults off here and there, but it takes ages for it to come back up, and when there's this many Rift Hounds, it becomes a bit of a problem. Charlotte's burst meter was only about halfway, and there were still 2 big Rift Hounds left to fight. Thankfully we took one of them down, but one of them was still at half HP, and all of our characters were in the red. But luckily for us, we finally got our burst up and saved all of our characters from the brink of death. Unfortunately, it did take a bit more time to destroy this guy, but if it wasn't for that heal, all of our characters would have been gone by now. Oh, give me that heal.
Then that black fire shot out of the stadium, and that huge
You seem awfully calm for someone who almost died.
Right after that.
That's the appropriate reaction I was expecting. Oh shit, what's happening here? Everyone's dead? Now, fortunately, not everyone was dead. There was one lone fighter fighting against these 3 Hilichurls here. I ran into the dead Yumkasaur. That's so sad. Now remember that fight before where I said whatever you choose here affects a later fight in the Archon quest. This is the fight I was talking about. This one NPC is actually taking a lot of aggro for us and is also providing a lot of damage. And he wouldn't be here if we chose the other route in the first half of this battle sequence. Both options have similar monsters in them, but this one is significantly easier because of our extra dude here. So many dead people. The Yumkasaur is the worst, that's so sad. Oi, why you push me like that? What the f? It looks like they're good. Alright, let's go help someone else. And now we're doing Survivor Search and Rescue South, which was one of the options before with the Rift Hounds, but we had to do both of them anyways, so here it is. This fight is significantly easier compared to the Rift Hounds. They're just Abyssal Saurians, and there are only 3 waves of them. All it takes is just a lot of damage and a lot of rotations, and it's a pretty easy clear. The Tepetli saws. No. The dead dinosaurs is the worst part of this. Like, come on, they're so cute. How can you just let them die like that? There's a baby Yumkasaur. Oh, if you died, I'd be so sad.
Guess you're the sole survivor, huh, buddy? There. Don't be scared.
Hope that little guy made it back. And now we went back to the Children of the Echoes for round 2. It's basically the same fight again, so we don't have to worry about this. We then went to the People of the Springs to fight more Rift Hounds, but there are a lot less of them this time, so they're a lot easier to kill. But I'm taking intel from a dead person. 2017! We then took the hot air balloon to reinforce the next hotspot, but, well, there's no one. Everyone's dead. I can't look at this. What are you smiling for? Everyone's dead and you're smiling. Yo, can this thing move any faster? There's people dying out here. Wait, the rhino's dead. Are you okay? Ah, you killed the rhino. You're fucking getting it now. Now, there were quite a few Rift Hounds here, but there also was a lot of NPCs here to help around. It was a lot more manageable this time, and our characters didn't lose too much HP.
There you go, buddy. It's still gonna hurt for a few days, but apart from
It's
that, you're on
alive!
the mend.
Toto! Toto's alive! Toto was alive, and if he could hold out for this long, so could we. That motivation pushed us to destroy the rest of the Abyss in this area, and with the help of these NPCs, we were able to destroy multiple pylons, saving the Children of the Echoes. We then met Chaska and Koichi, and unfortunately they were surrounded by monsters, so we went to go save them. There are only a few Helitrals left and this Abyssal dude, so they must have cleaned up everything else before we arrived, but it seems that we were a bit too late. Koichi was gone. It had gone too far. It was time to gather,
The gaze of all Natlan.
so it was time to destroy all of these abyssal structures, and with the help of Malwika throwing down fireballs from the sky, this was very easy. Not only did she absolutely destroy these Rift Hounds, it also destroyed these pylons. Our characters did get low at some points, but thanks to Charlotte and a lot of energy recharge from a lot of different sources, we were never on the brink of death. And thanks to Malwika being absolutely broken, we were able to destroy these disgusting ass pieces of shit. Now, it was very rinse and repeat for the rest of these fights. Malwika is just absolutely stupidly broken. These fights were easier than Paimon getting convinced with food. What the f***? Oh, okay, thank God. What is this Avengers Assemble type shit? So after the final fight in front of the stadium, Malwika punched the shit out of Gasoithoth and revealed the fragmented sky.
The Outlander with deep ties to this land.
Deku Bob Domne. And that was Act 4 complete. Alright, now I don't know if the interlude is required for Act 5 because Act 5 isn't out yet. It comes out in 2 days. But I'm gonna do it anyways. Now before we start the interlude quest, we have to first get to the interlude quest. So we made our way over to the Flower Feather clan, but we accidentally started the Masters of the Nightwind story quest, so did a bit of a detour here. But we finally made it and found Ian-san. Alright, all fires fuel the flame. This interlude quest is pretty short. It's all about just talking to mentally ill people and then no longer making them mentally ill. Is that the right thing to say? This guy just needed to talk to a bird, but we were already a bird, so problem solved. This girl needed to fight the Abyss, so we went to go fight the Abyss. Get him, Kachita! You f***ing missed! You broke your leg as well. What the hell is wrong with you? Get him! There you go! Good job, you faced your fears. This last guy thought that we were abyssal monsters, so we tried to beat some sense into him, but it didn't work. But luckily for us, we had a special someone come to help. I know how to fix this. How? Let's take ibuprofen together. So, do you have any questions for me? Paimon wants to know how you do with the mask. That is the trick. I don't.
It's disgusting!
That's what the mask is. That's what the point of the mask is. Again, thankfully this guy isn't voiced. Thank you, Kanich. Anyways, after everyone said some nice stuff about me, that was the interlude quest complete. 4-star. Alright. Character. Beto, I'll take that. I'll take that, because we're using Beto, so that's not bad. Thank you for the pull. Beto's C1 is very nice because it gives us a shield on her burst, so a lot more survivability there. But the next time I logged on, it was time for Natlan's final act, which meant it was the start of a new patch and a new month, so a lot more pulls. Okay, 4-star, first 4-star. Kachina, we don't need you. Kachina was now C2, but well, she was dead, so yeah. But now it was time for Act 5. We started off with a party at the People of the Springs, and to progress, we had to talk to 3 different people. So we talked to Ian-san, Kinich, and Chaska. After you talk to those 3 people, you can immediately start the feast. But just kidding, we talked to everyone anyways.
Ow! Get out of the ice bucket! The almighty dragon
Oh,
lord!
come on. Why is this guy voiced but not Kinich? This annoying piece of shit. I have to listen to this guy again. Auroron and I then went to a room Not in that way, Paimon. We then said goodbye to everyone and escorted Kachina back to the Children of the Echoes. But while we were here, we went to go pick up our ancient name, which just happened to be
Tumaini. It means hope.
To celebrate, we had some more food and
The place has top-tier alcohol as well.
Well, what are we waiting for?
our ancient name seemed to be a-okay, but it looked like there were a lot of lost souls in the area. So we tried to send them back, but not all of them could. Io's grandparents refused to go. And that lit a fire under me. We had to save Natlan so this would never happen again. It was time to fight the Abyss. Oh hey, Kachina's cheering for us. Thank you, Kachina. You've been so supportive. Oh dang, Auroron's here too. Sup G. But now, it was time to go. Time for the final battle of Natlan. Now for this first part, we play as Malwika, and there's no other way around it. She's the only person in the party, and we are against some abyssal monsters. First up, we're against the Saurians, but Malwika's so broken, so it doesn't really matter. We just absolutely destroy them. Next up there is a Cryo Abyss Herald, but this guy is also pretty easy. Malwika does so much damage, like look at that, holy moly. And we take hardly any damage in return. Now since this is a Cryo Abyss Herald, the shield is very easy to break as we are a pyro character, so that's exactly what we do. The next fight is against some abyssal monsters and we have to destroy this abyssal pylon, but we have the help of some fallen comrades, including Auntie Atea, who we purified back in Act 1. A lot of our comrades did a significant amount of damage, and by significant I mean that they did more damage to the abyssal pylon than us. So we gave them a quick thanks and moved on to the next part. However, there was so much fog, we couldn't move anywhere and it was so suffocating. But luckily, Malko and Vichama were here to help us yet again. Now this fight was just like any other, there were just 3 abyssal monsters with that weird elemental bar. Since we haven't done the Ochka Natlan quest, we don't have Bona or Kokoweek to help us out. Now that is one disadvantage, but it's only a small one. We can still defeat these monsters pretty easily. We don't need Kokoweek's buff and we don't need another NPC to help do more damage for us. Now this one you can't beat by yourself, but Guthrie comes in clutch and destroys the shield for us. So we take down this monster just like any other, and that was it. Now Koichi comes in clutch, and we're able to clear this next bit with the Ikitomi Saw and the Cuckoo Saw. Now the Saurian parts of this domain are so fun. This part was so epic, especially with Gazoithoth shooting down a massive laser right down. No, I did not say massive, but anyway, here it was, the final battle against the Abyss, and it has taken the mightiest form of all, the Pyro Dragon Sovereign. But Signora has also embraced his inner self and has unleashed his pyro abilities. Now Pyro Traveler has increased battle capabilities against Gazoithoth. His E gives him extra pyro on hit, it fires these blades even if you're super far away, and he has increased energy regeneration from what it looks like. His skill uptime is almost 100%, and even when it isn't up, his burst regenerates 9 soul points and also heals him quite a bit. There is a point where Gazoithoth turns the arena dark and puts out these monsters, but Pyro Traveler can literally one-shot them and stun Gazoithoth in the process. Now over here, Gazoithoth reduces you to 1% HP, which you can't avoid, but then that takes you into Malwika's sequence. You've never once stopped moving, so keep marching on ahead? Nah, let me go back there. Okay, I get it, you don't have to keep reminding me, I'm still moving, you know. Oh wait, this guy isn't using Dual Blade anymore, it's Prototype Rancor. Now for the second half of this fight, it's a bit different. We can't use Malwika because she's a trial character, but we can use Signora, so we're gonna have to defeat Gazoithoth with just Signora. Now about a third of the stage disappears, which is fine because we still have a lot of room to run around. The only problem is that there are a lot of terrain changes, and Gazoithoth likes to put random shit on the fucking arena floor, so gonna be taking a lot of abyssal damage and a lot of pyro damage for no reason. Now this next part of the fight, the totem poles appear and we have to purify them, which is honestly a pretty easy task. Pyro Traveler absolutely decimates these shields, so that means we get a massive attack against Gazoithoth.
No one fights alone. Burn through the endless night.
Being his friend.
Really, Milani? Everyone's like, this guy is the coolest, he is tough, and Milani's just like, I'm glad he is my friend. Now honestly I dig it. W Milani.
We will take back Natlan's future.
Honestly the rest of this fight, it took way too long to beat with Pyro Traveler, but we did it in the end. We successfully defeated Gazoithoth. What is this? Taboo? Detroit? Smash! Oh my god, that's so cute. That's adorable. Oh, come on, Paimon. You're making me tear up here. But now that it was all over, it was time to celebrate. Oh, that guy's big. So we took some photos, but we only know one pose apparently. And then we went to go sign some autograph. Hang on, I wasn't finished yet. Bruh, I didn't even do all the lines. Okay, whatever. Oh my god, they're so cute.
And you brought a bunch of
Alright, come with me.
friends.
Oh, that's so adorable. Alright, go on, Senora. Show me your dance moves. I just think that it's really neat. I tested it out. If you fail a dance move, then Paimon tells you what move to do next and like encourages you. I just think that's super awesome. I love it a lot. We then met with Setlali, who told us Mawika was still going to die, so we moved over to Ochka Natlan and tried to confront Renova. Mawika, I understand how you feel, but I can offer you a better solution. The death of these clothes is what I have been trying to reach all along. I have been wearing these garments for 500 years. And you want to take them off? Yes, because of the rules, I cannot remove my garments unless I am in Hoyo Fair. Okay, I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore, I'm sorry. Forsake one of your rules. The choice is yours.
The captain,
He's expected to appear in a YouTube video showcasing his death sometime this month. And so, after commemorating the fallen warriors, okay, real quick, you have Mawika's awesome claymore here, and then Kapitona's incredible sword, and then you have prototype Rancor. We finally finished Incandescent Ode of Resurrection, which means we got a free pull. And
when your faith is shaking, trust in me, next turn is breaking. Head into the light, I'm here by your side. I never will let you go. Let your flame burn.
finally, after 4 videos, 6 nations, and over 70 hours of recorded gameplay, we have finally got a limited 5-star on this account. And how perfect is it that it is none other than Mawika? What a perfect ending to this video. I'm Mimrai0. Thank you for watching this Natlan video, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, that's obviously not the end of the video. I still have a bit more to talk about. Firstly, thank you all if you made it this far. You all are awesome, and I couldn't have done it without you. I know you're all wondering about the Welkins, but just wait a bit, I'll get to that soon. Real quick, let's rate Natlan in comparison to the other regions. For combat difficulty, I would say it's about a 7. The Gasoithoth fight wasn't remotely hard, but the amount of abyssal monsters and just the base strength of Natlan enemies makes the Archon quests really rough. Healers are more than necessary, and especially for my team, it felt harder than some of the other regions. With that being said, the actual region wasn't very annoying. It's probably sitting at about a 5 based on what I've rated the other regions, but that's purely because it felt manageable. If anything, the most annoying parts were just breaking the abyssal shields. Now, in terms of personal enjoyment, I think I enjoyed this nation the most. The Archon quests were amazing, and there was a lot of freedom and optional objectives, so that was really cool. Act 4 was by far my favorite, with Act 5 coming in at a close second. Now, Welkins. I know you all want these. And since I used Kachina twice, that's 2 Welkins to give away. The criteria this time is to comment down a Q&A question for me to answer in a future video. And the draw will be random, but make sure you'd put down some interesting questions for me to answer. And I'll probably give them out in the next video, so keep an eye out for that one. And just so you all know what's coming up next, the next video is probably Challenge Roulette Sumeru, and possibly the continuation of a no grass or no map challenge. Now, the no map challenge I haven't put out, but I started it about 3 months ago, but I haven't touched it, so I'll see if I get around to it. Anyways, that's the end of the video for real this time. I really appreciate you all, and I'll see you all in the next video.